It's Mickadee TV, and this is my Minnesota Vikings game number 10 review of the Minnesota Vikings loss to the Chicago Bears on Sunday night. Like, I can't remember how many nights ago in November. And my apologies for this being late. My life has been pretty busy lately, so I do my best I can on making videos as consistently as possible and trying to stay up to date on Viking scores. So if there's any sport I like to do reviews on and stuff like that, it would be football. So I would like to do like baseball and hockey and maybe basketball, college football for sure, maybe, but I don't have much time in the week, so I do what I can. So I'm gonna do Vikings. So, anyways, as we know, the Bears beat the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 25-20. I predicted that the Vikings were gonna lose, even though this is a game that the Vikings could have easily won. I mean, our defense. When you look at how well our defense did in this game, considering, the Vikings defense did a great enough job to win this game. The problem was the Vikings offense. And I think the offense is this is the biggest weakness of this team is our offense, and we don't have a lot of consistencies. We have trouble with turnovers. We have trouble with our offensive line. We have trouble now with time of possession. And the running game's not there anymore, so it's during this week, anyways. And I still got the Packers game and Patriots game, but when it comes to good teams or challenging teams, this team is not doing well. So we'll go through some stats real quick here. Kirk Cousins was 30 out of 46 with 262 yards passing with 2 TDs. Normally, I'd be happy with stats like these, except that he had 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions came late in the game where the Chicago Bears scored a touchdown off of. If it wasn't for that interception that led to the defensive touchdown on the Bears, the Vikings could have easily won this game. They could have easily won this game. So I am not convinced that Cousins is the quarterback that's going to be able to propel us and well, I don't even know if he's going to make us to the playoffs, but even if we do make the playoffs, is he going to propel us into doing well in the playoffs? And he's just like any other quarterback that we have. He has flashes of goodness, and then he has games where he gives up a lot of interceptions and makes stupid mistakes and things like that. And now 10th game into the season. Is this the 10th game? Yeah, 10th game into the season. I'm pretty much convinced that Cousins is just like any other Vikings quarterback that we've had. Maybe good, better than average, definitely when it comes to certain things in the game, but he's not great. That's what I can say. He's not a great quarterback, and we put our all our chips in on this guy while getting rid of 3 other quarterbacks that had potential. And what are you going to do? I if there's anything, if this is a Mike Zimmer move, then I hope this is the thing that will get Zimmer fired. The other part of the game, the running game's just been lackluster, especially in this game. We only had a total of 22 yards rushing. And on top of that, and I know the Vikings were down early in the game behind a lot of points, so they had to resort to their passing game a lot, but you got to do something to bring in the running game to make the defense and the other team honest. So we only had 22 yards rushing total in this game, plus one of our running backs, Dalvin Cook, gave up a fumble. He coughed up a fumble, and I know he's young and that technically this is his rookie season, but it's just unacceptable what's going on with the running game. Receiving game, nothing totally great. Only one player stood out was Stephon Diggs. He had 13 catches for 126 yards for a TD and a TD. Otherwise, I mean, the ball was spread out evenly with our wide receivers, but not much else exciting about the receiving game. And I don't know. This is just one of those games that, like I said, it kind of sickens me almost. Offensively, on the offensive line, the offense gave up 2 sacks. I don't know much else for stats, but they gave up 2 sacks. That's not too bad. I don't know how many knockdowns they got. I got stats from some other source that wasn't detailed enough. But the one big thing I noticed was time of possession. Chicago had a time possession of 34 minutes, and Minnesota had a time possession of 25 minutes. That is not good. When your offense is not on the field that much and your defense is on the field a lot, that's going to wear down the defense. And all considering, I mean, this defense could have gave up way more points, but they stuck in there. So offensively, we could have done much better with time of possession as well. And I think we definitely let our defense down by giving up 3 turnovers. And that's unacceptable. Defensively, we only gave up 18 points. The Minnesota Vikings defense only gave up 18 points in this game. That was good enough to win this game, considering that the Vikings scored 20. And they could have maybe scored even more if it wasn't for the turnovers. So we could have easily won this game, which makes it even more disappointing, which tells me a lot that I need to know about this team and the leadership behind it. So defensively, the defense was pretty good. Some stars of the game. Number 54, Eric Kendricks, had 12 tackles. He's the one linebacker that's been consistent in every game, getting a lot of tackles in that and being on plays. Another defensive player that had a pretty good game was Anthony Harris. He had 3 tackles, but 2 big interceptions in this game, which is awesome to see, and I'm so happy to see that. And yeah, I love turnovers, and unfortunately, the Vikings offense gave up just as many turnovers. Harrison Smith had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and he had a fumble recovery, so that was kind of cool to see as well. So those were our top defensive players. Special teams wise, our kicker, not in play that much, but Dan Bailey was 2 of 2 on field goals. No extra points made because the Vikings went for 2-point conversions with their 2 touchdowns in the game. So Dan Bailey had a quiet game, but at least he didn't miss any field goals or extra points. So nothing to complain there. So it just comes down to, like I said before, leadership of this team. And like I said, Mike Zimmer, he plays the same type of game of playing not to lose. He doesn't play to win. He doesn't have a killer instinct, everything. And it's like, and the other thing is, what's going on? What's going on with our offense? I know he's a big defensive mind, but to be a head coach, you got to get all aspects of the game situated. And the offense is not, it's faltering. The offense can play good enough to beat average teams, maybe good teams once in a while, but it's not consistent enough. There's too many turnovers happening at this point during the season. Too many turnovers. Our running game has been kind of inconsistent. It's been up and down, and something needs to be done. I don't know what it is. So that's it for my game review of the Bears-Vikings game, in which the Chicago Bears beat the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 25-20. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.